Here are 25 quick facts to expand your mind. But before we begin, today's video is sponsored by Monopoly Go. Monopoly Go is a new twist on the classic game. It's the ultimate Monopoly showdown that you can play at any function at any time. I recently played with friends at my housewarming and we had so much fun. Just like the classic game, the goal is to buy and build your way to the top by collecting property tile sets and get your friends to pay rent, which makes your bank grow faster. Growing up, Monopoly was my favorite game, and Monopoly Go brings back all the competition and fun from the original game, except that there's no boards to clean up after. You push go, play, and then close the app until next time that you play. So dominate the classic game of Monopoly with a twist. Download Monopoly Go for free by tapping or clicking the link in the description and get ready to have some fun. Okay, let's start the video. When Apple began designating employee numbers, Steve Jobs was offended that Wozniak received number 1 while he got number 2. He believed that he should be second to no one, so he took employee number 0 instead. There are 96 bags of human waste on the moon. Kind of makes sense. I mean, where would you recycle it? The working titles for Marvel's Spider-Man movies included The Summer of George and Serenity Now. Only Seinfeld fans are gonna get those references. There's a millipede species that actually has 1,000+ legs that was discovered in 2021 that lives up to 200 feet or up to 60 meters underground in Western Australia. Side note and quick question, why are all the nightmare creatures living in Australia? Leaving a plasma globe lamp near a device like a laptop or a phone sends a strong enough radio signal to mess with the functionality of it. Microsoft did not develop MS-DOS, but actually bought it off a programmer named Timothy Patterson in 1981. David Solomon, CEO of Goldman Sachs, is also a DJ. His Spotify profile has 550,000 monthly listeners. He's performed at nightclubs and music festivals in New York, Miami, and even the Bahamas. Snickers salad is a real dish from the upper Midwestern United States, often served at potlucks that consist of chopped up Snickers bars, Granny Smith apples, Cool Whip, and pudding. Popular lore states that it's either a salad or a dessert, depending on which end of the table it's sitting at. An estimated 22% of all gold ever accounted for on the Earth's surface came from a single plateau in South Africa called Witwatersrand. When the Titanic sank, it took about 2 hours and 40 minutes, which coincides exactly with the broadcast time of the movie Titanic from 1997 if you cut out the credits in all present-day scenes. Onions don't contain any compounds which make you cry. The act of cutting the onion breaks open its cells, which allows an enzyme to interact with the amino acids, resulting in something that's produced in the air that makes you cry. In 2004, a man in New York got homesick, so he secretly shipped himself inside of a crate to his parents' home in Texas. Upon arrival, the delivery driver noticed him when the crate started shaking and called the police. He was fined $1,500 and sentenced to 4 months house arrest. The closest living relatives of the hippopotamus are whales. Mother Nature's a mad scientist. The Shanghai Maglev train has a maximum cruising speed of 431 kilometers per hour or 268 miles per hour. That makes it the fastest train service in commercial operation. It takes about 4 minutes to reach max speed. The American rock band The Postal Service was once sent a cease and desist letter by the United States Postal Service for trademark infringement of their name. After negotiations, the USPS allowed the band to use their name in exchange for playing a free show at their national conference. In Friday the 13th, the Camp Crystal Lake scenes were shot at a real camp in New Jersey, Camp Nobi Bosco. It's still in operation today as a Boy Scout camp. If you've ever wondered why Little Richard is so epic in musical history, here's why. The Beatles opened for Little Richard before they had a record deal. The Rolling Stones opened for him as the Unknowns. Jimi Hendrix got his start in his band, and James Brown's big break was as a Little Richard impersonator playing shows Little Richard couldn't attend. In ancient Egypt, under the decree of Ptolemy II, all ships visiting the city were obliged to surrender their books to the Library of Alexandria and be copied. The original would be kept in the library and the copy would be given back to the owner. There's a type of ant called slaver ants, which is an entire category of ants who never work and instead capture and enslave other ants as workers. Our ancestor H. erectus, or upright man, was the longest surviving human ancestor that we know of. The span of time they were alive on Earth is estimated at 1.5 million years compared to to modern humans, which is only about 400,000 years. An adult panda absorbs up to 1.02 grams of cyanide a day through its diet. To prevent poisoning, they've actually evolved anti-toxic mechanisms to protect themselves. Notre Dame Cathedral's landmark spire, after being restored brand new after the fire about 4 years ago, is 60 feet tall, called the Heart of the Spire, and is made from centuries-old oak trees. Antarctica is approximately 1.5 times larger than the United States. Most airlines never use a flight number again if that flight had a fatal crash, except for American Airlines, which keeps using flight number 1 despite 3 major crashes. The amount of abs that you can attain is purely determined by genetics. While six-packs are the most common, some bodybuilders such as Arnold Schwarzenegger can only attain a 4-pack. This is due to humans being born with different amounts of fascia bands. The most that you can have is a 10-pack, which is super rare. I have a 1-pack. I call it my love keg. But thank you for making it to the end of the video, and thanks again to Monopoly Go for sponsoring this video. Remember to download Monopoly Go for free right now by tapping or clicking the link in the description. It's a super fun game. I really think you guys are gonna enjoy it. Other than that, make sure you check out my videos. I have almost 1,000, so there's guaranteed to be one just for you. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys next time.